All right, so some of the things that I want to say about semen retention, or at least one or two things that maybe others don't talk so much about. You'll hear people talk about women attraction from holding in their seed. They'll talk about how, the seed is what women want subconsciously, and that's why they can't deny this magnetic pole that the seed gives you access to. That is not possible otherwise. They'll talk about physical benefits to your body, skin looking better, hair looking better, um, talking about fear going away, anxiety being soothed, which to me I want to report is true. Absolutely true. But the next part that I want to talk about is and this one I'm still playing with, but it's almost as if it lets my body, maybe like after a longer time, um, I don't want to say like a day number, but maybe this is because I've done it for a long time, or maybe like my background has helped me a bit just from my spiritual background of what I've done and practiced. But I'm noticing what's easier is number one is that everything is synchronistic, but our mind cannot see how everything is synchronistic. It lives as the mind. The person, this is Jake. Jake sees a certain way. He lives his life a certain way. But from certain experiences that I've had, being blissed out with, meditations or whatnot, anything, that when I peek through the other side, it shows how everything is in order already and everything's a synchronicity. Every moment. There is nothing that is non synchronistic. And it's every like moment. So like every half second, every so the mind just can't see this. And so whenever the person, Jake, a normal, we'll call it ordinary life, sees a synchronistic, something synchronistic, that just means it was able to fathom it. It was able to see that. It caught that one. It caught that fish, even though every moment is like a fish. It was able to understand this one particular synchronicity, even though everything was already a synchronicity, which is the joke, spiritual joke. And so, what it's allowing my lower self to effortlessly do now is to see much more moments and understand and comprehend much more moments of synchronicity. Sure, more synchronicities happen, but it's sort of like it makes my mind have, we'll call it, the way my mind will think the way that God wants me to think, which means it's thinking the way that the moment is happening, like your intuition or your psychic abilities. But really, it's just I can see instead of maybe 3 synchronicities a day, I'm having like 100 moments. 100 moments where whatever I'm thinking effortlessly as my ordinary self, that whatever's going on is what I was thinking about. So it could be kind of, uh, the wrong way of thinking about it is like, oh, I manifested this. But it's almost like it's just both are happening at the same time. And so I guess this could be intuition, like a knowing. But it's just like my mind can feel what's happening because it is connected to what's happening now. Maybe it always was, but now it's becoming recognizable. And so I think what's happening now, or what can happen, or the way that I'm um, playing it out, is that life can be much more trusting after this happens a couple hundred times or a couple thousand times. You're like, oh, okay, okay, something is going on here. The world that I thought it was isn't that way at all. And so um, that can mean so many things to someone who is suffering. And um, that means there's order to things. That means there, whatever is happening is supposed to happen, and it's the best thing, sure. But like, that really releases someone who was trying to be like successful like me, right? Where I can't be successful money wise, or this, do certain things. Um, because, well, first, I'm kind of happy because if I really was successful in certain things, maybe I wouldn't be thinking this way, or been able to rediscover this. I've known these kinds of things, but now it's becoming like not so intellectual. This is coming like it's the real deal as my life, not just sometimes. So that to me is value. And maybe this will happen as you calm down, as the body and the lustful things kind of calm down. um this kind of thing happens. So that's the first thing. The second thing is different worlds on top of this world, or ways of angles of it. So we'll say like a dimension. My lower ordinary mind self is living in an ordinary way, but with this retention, my body is able to have like the ability to move into other dimensions. I'm not saying like I go to a completely different world, like an alien world. No, it's like this world, but like a dimension on top of this world, a different way that the mind opens up and sees. And my body is able, it's like my spacesuit can go. You need a spacesuit if you want to travel into the higher parts of the world that this world has. And I'm noticing that when I'm getting like really good flow, and my energy builds up in that moment, like it can like jump into this next world, and my skin and my bodies and my bones are able to just go into it. So what can happen if we keep going? What can happen if I just keep traveling into this stuff? And maybe that's how I can win this game that I've been struggling with, right? And yeah, so those are two good things that I wanted to mention before I would like forget it or not make this video. And I'm not like probably going to be the most popular person in this topic, but that's not the right way of thinking. I just feel like if I just keep being me the way that I am me, like that's what we need. We need someone like me in this now. And that's just how it goes. So I'm going to just do this now, play this out. I don't have expectations or plans, but I really do like the way that some other guys are giving out information, but you know, I could really dig into this too. So um, maybe just comment, like that whole thing. It's pretty interesting to say. You know, I always hear other people say that, and now I'm saying it, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so this will be fun. Thanks, guys.